Do you need an English language test for your UK visa, settlement or citizenship application? You're in luck because Pearson PTE Home is now approved by the UK Home Office. Pearson PTE Home takes less than 30 minutes to complete in just one session, and the test is taken on a computer without the stress of facing a human examiner. You can conveniently book your test up to 24 hours in advance, online or by phone. Our computer-based test uses automated scoring, delivers results fast, typically available within 48 hours, so whether you need to pass an English language test to start a new job, join your family, or to build your new life permanently in the UK, you can achieve your dream. Pearson PTE Home. A new test, a new future.
Hello and welcome everybody. Welcome to this virtual event where we are officially launching our PTE UKVI portfolio in Sri Lanka. Before we begin the proceedings, we'd like to play the national anthems of Sri Lanka and the UK.
Sri Lanka Mata, Appa Sri Lanka, Namo 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 Mata, Sundara Sri Tarini, Surani Ati Sobhamana Lanka. Apa
So thank you and welcome everybody. As I mentioned, this is an event to launch PTE UKVI in Sri Lanka and to also tell you a little bit about our tests so that you have a clearer understanding of exactly which tests you can use to come to the UK. My name is Muna Mazhar and I am the Head of Market Development for PTE globally. I'm based in London, but I have been working with our colleagues in Sri Lanka and the whole region to really build PT Academic in those markets over the years. So we're really looking forward to this next phase in our growth and being able to give you the tests that you need. We have a really fun packed event for you today. We'll be starting by hearing from some colleagues from Pearson who will be talking a little bit about what Pearson has already been doing in Sri Lanka and then what we hope to do going forwards. We'll then have a short presentation which outlines the tests that are in our PTE portfolio. So again, just to give you a little bit of a clearer idea of exactly which test is suitable for which purposes on your journey to the UK. After the presentation, we'll have a short quiz with a few questions for you to answer so that you can win some great PTE prizes. We'll then have a message from our chief guest, who is the British High Commissioner to Sri Lanka and the Maldives. So do stay tuned for that. I want to start our messages with a message from Pramila Paulraj, who is my colleague based in Sri Lanka. Pramila is the Director of Business Development for South Asia and has been with Pearson for 15 years. She's been working on a range of products for Pearson in that market, including PTE Academic, which was launched in Sri Lanka in 2013. It's really exciting to now be adding a UK government approved test to that portfolio, and we hope that you'll find it a really useful addition to the products which are on offer. Over to you, Pramila.
Distinguished guests, colleagues from Pearson, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm pleased that we are joined by many people from different time zones today to witness the launch of Pearson Test of English UKVI. I wish we could have met you in person to share this joyous occasion. Nevertheless, I'm glad we have been able to come together virtually. A very warm welcome to Her Excellency Sarah Hulton, British High Commissioner to Sri Lanka and Maldives, for gracing this occasion as the chief guest. I am indeed grateful to you for your commitment to help young students achieve their dreams of further education or migration to the United Kingdom. It is my pleasure to welcome Jo Lam, Managing Director for Pearson South Asia, and Freya Thomas, Senior Vice President, English Assessments. I would like to recognize the support of Jo and Freya, who have facilitated us all the way to achieve successful delivery of Pearson Test of English in this region. I'm also grateful to have two past test takers who have come forward to share their experiences. A very warm welcome to Tarushi Fernando and Loshita Manoharan. Enjoy the proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pramila, for that. I'd now like to introduce you to Freya Thomas-Monk. Freya is the Senior Vice President for English Assessment. She's also based in the UK and has a message for us around the importance of the Sri Lankan market to our business and how we hope to work together going forwards.
Hello, I'm Freya Thomas-Monk and I'm Senior Vice President of English Assessment at Pearson. It's a pleasure to contribute to this important occasion for Pearson today. I'm sorry I'm unable to be in Sri Lanka in person, but look forward to visiting your beautiful country again soon as we're able. Pearson has operated in the education sector in Sri Lanka for many years, if not decades, and we're very proud of the part we play in supporting education in the country. We know that there are around 2 billion people in the world learning English. It's an extraordinary figure, as people, young and old, learn English to pursue their studies, careers and their lives in their own countries and abroad. Pearson Test of English, PTE, plays a role here. We are proud that many millions of young people have taken PTE in order to prove their proficiency in English to government agencies and universities around the world. It has helped them pursue their dreams and, despite the restrictions of COVID-19 this year, continues to do so in over 100 countries globally. In 2020, we're very pleased to launch our services for the UK Home Office. PTE Academic VI and PTE Home are accepted as evidence of English proficiency for people applying for visas. I know that there are many people in Sri Lanka right now preparing for their applications to come to the UK, and I hope that as they do so, they will consider Pearson Test of English, PTE, as their English test. I know they'll be pleased if they do. They'll like the digital nature of the test, the speed they receive their score back, and the learning services we offer to help them prepare. Thank you for inviting me today, and good luck to all of you for the future. It's always a pleasure to work with my Pearson colleagues based in Sri Lanka, and I'd like to take the opportunity today to thank them all for their commitment to our business and the education sector as a whole, and for making the launch of PTE today possible. Thank you.
The world might be on pause, but it doesn't mean I have to wait.
I am ready for success, and nothing is going to get in my way.
I am sticking to my plan, and I will make it real.
I'm taking action today, so my future can start tomorrow.
PTE is a secure English test for your visa and study application. It's quick and accurate computer-based testing, with results typically available within just 48 hours. PTE. Ready when you are.
Thank you, Freya, for that great overview. I'd now like to introduce you to Joe Lam. Joe is the Managing Director for China and South Asia at Pearson, and he's got a message around the bigger picture and the trends that we are seeing in the market. Over to you, Joe.
Hi, I'm Joe Lam, the Managing Director of Pearson South Asia. I'm based in Beijing. I'm sorry, due to travel restriction, I'm not able to attend this important event. There's a close social and commercial linkage between Sri Lanka and UK. UK is most popular destination for education, business, and migration. As one of the largest education companies in the world, we are proud to provide various educational services in Sri Lanka, such as EdXL qualification, including A-Level, IGCSE, and BTEC. Early this year, our flagship product, PTE, awarded UK Government Home Office UK cell. PTE is one of the leading automated AI English proficiency tests. It has been recognized by various governments and over 1,000 academic institutions. With UK cell, it could further enhance our services to Sri Lanka. I'm looking forward to meet with you in person, and thanks for your great support. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those words, Joe. The next part of our event is a short presentation where we'll be just outlining the 3 different tests that sit within the PTE portfolio. We want to just make sure that everybody's clear on the different types of tests and which ones are the right ones to use for which visa application or which purpose. I hope you find it useful. After the presentation, we'll have a short quiz with a few questions. You can answer those questions in the chat box, and at a later point, after the session's finished, our regional team will be selecting a few random winners from those that got the answers correct, and you can win some really great PTE prizes. So do look out for that. So now's our chance to look in a little bit more detail at the PTE portfolio. So in this presentation, I'll be talking about PTE, a new way to the UK. The PTE portfolio is a group of computer-based language tests which provide the most unbiased and secure proof of a candidate's English skills. And we'll talk a little bit about why they're the most unbiased in a moment. The portfolio consists of 3 different tests: PTE Academic, UKVI, and PTE Home. Now, PTE Academic is a standard test for skills that is accepted for Australian and New Zealand visas and is recognised by universities around the world for international study. PT Academic UKVI is the exact same test as PT Academic, with the 4 skills and the same content, the same format. The difference is that this one is the version that you would take if you wanted to apply for a UK visa. PT Home is a slightly different test. It's a 2 skills test, and we have 3 different versions at the different CFR levels of A1, A2 and B1. This is for UK family and settlement visas. So it's a much shorter test and is used for a slightly different purpose. I will go into a little bit more detail later on about the 2 different types of test. Okay, so what makes PTE tests different? Well, these are our 4 pillars. Firstly, it's more convenient. We have simple online booking. Everything can be done from your computer. You don't need to visit a test centre. You don't need to pay cash or anything like that. You can book up to 24 hours in advance of a test session. So there's no deadlines, booking deadlines, as sometimes you find with other tests. We offer tests around the world on 365 days of the year, and we can really adjust our schedules to meet the needs of a particular market. So if a lot of people need to take a test in a particular location, we can open up extra sessions to make that feasible. It's one single test over 3 hours. You don't have to go back for a speaking component or do anything else. You just go to the test centre on one occasion and sit all 4 components of your test. And then our results come out exceptionally quickly. So within 48 hours of taking your test, you will typically have your results. That's a really great turnaround time, and of course is massively helpful for students and migrants around the world who need to take a test as part of a wider process. Secondly, it's really accurate. Computer-based marking ensures that we have impartial and accurate marks. What we do is we remove any bias that you might get with human markers. Somebody has a bad day, somebody's tired, somebody isn't so used to a particular accent, for example. Those are all things that affect a human marker. What our systems do is take out all of that and just look at your language ability and making sure that they are providing you with the right score for your capabilities. You can see there that we've got a little note about the standard error of measurement. So we've done various studies around the standard error of measurement that all tests have. Every test has some level of error in its scoring. And PT Academic actually has the lowest standard error of measurement amongst this type of test. Our tests are relevant and objective. We use genuine academic content, and we use something called integrated tasks. So that means that we test more than one skill within a particular task. Now, the reason that we do that is it's much more relevant to real life. That's the kind of situation you'll find yourself in when you are studying or when you move to a new country to start a new life. You don't just listen, you don't just speak. You use more than one skill at one time, and that's what we want to reflect in our tests. And then our security is exceptionally high quality. We have a fully digital experience from end to end, so that provides greater accuracy along with our computer-based marking, and also heavy security, so that you can rely on the results that you receive, knowing that that is an accurate score and that there was no interference in your test. Okay, in terms of how you register, take the test and receive your results, it's a really streamlined process, which you can see nicely in this graphic. First, you can book your test online or by phone on our mobile app. So you can do that without having to speak to anybody. You can make your payment. You can do all of the things you need to do. Select your date, select your location, and make that payment and receive an email confirmation. You can access our preparation resources that are available on our website. There are some free resources. There are some paid resources. There are a massive bank of resources available to you to really make sure that you can be fully prepared for the test you're about to take. On the test day itself, you go to the test centre on that one occasion, as I mentioned earlier. So you will attend for 3 hours, where you will sit the listening, speaking, writing and reading components together. And there's no need then to return to that test centre for any reason. Your scores will be ready within 48 hours. And actually, just to show you on the right-hand side there, exactly how quickly we can produce those scores for you. So in 2018, our average score turnaround time was 2 days, and that's what we still advise, that it will take 2 days for your results to come. However, the majority of people do receive their scores in 1.2 days. So that results turnaround is really getting shorter and shorter, and therefore helps with your plans and what you want to do with your life. Finally, once your scores are ready, they are sent to your account, your Pearson account. From that account, you can see your breakdown of scores, and what you can do from there as well is then send them to an institution that you have applied to if you're going to study, or to a migration agency if you are applying for a visa of some description. You can do that directly from your account. It doesn't cost you any money, and there are no limits on how many different organizations and institutions you can send your scores to. So to be able to do that from your mobile phone, for example, again, hopefully makes your life very easy, straightforward, makes the process that you're going through a little bit smoother. A little bit of information about the test day itself. When you go to a test centre, you need to just arrive 30 minutes before your test time. You need to agree and sign the test taker rules and regulations. The administrator will check your passport and take some biometric information. And what we mean by biometric information is a palm vein scan, an electronic signature and a photograph of you on test day. You'll sit the test at a dedicated workstation, as you can see in that picture there, by yourself, so you're not being interrupted by anybody else in the room. You can concentrate on your own test and really do the best that you can in your own test. Just to be clear, the test taker is monitored by CCTV for the duration of the test, and that links back to the security that I was talking about earlier, in that we want to ensure there is no malpractice, that nobody is trying to look at your answers, or that you are doing anything like that with anybody else in the room. So to ensure that everybody's test is secure and safe, we monitor everybody through CCTV. Okay, I talked about the 3 different tests in our portfolio. So first of all, just to give you a bit more information about PT Academic and PT Academic UKVI. The content of the test and the structure is, as you can see on the screen. We have a first part which covers the speaking and writing components and the different types of tasks that you will see in that section. The timing of that section is between 77 and 93 minutes. And the reason for that range of time is because when you come to sit a test, you're given a random set of questions. You won't have the same set of questions as the person sitting in the booth next to you. Everybody gets their own set of questions, so that your test is really unique to you. So those questions may make up 77 minutes of the test, or they may make up 80 minutes or 90 or 93 minutes. The second part of the test is the reading section, where you can see there you'll have some multiple choice questions, you'll reorder some paragraphs, you'll fill in some blanks. And again, you've got a time range there for how long that particular section will take. After the reading section, there's an optional break of 10 minutes. You can just jump over that break if you wish, or if you'd like to, you can step out, have a drink of water, etc., take a washroom break, and then return for the final part, which is the listening section. And there again, you can see the different types of tasks that fall under the listening section and the time that it takes. Once you've completed that final section, you are free to leave. So if you move through the test more quickly than the full 3 hours, once you have completed and submitted that test, you are free to leave. You don't need to stay till the end, which I know in some cases you are required to stay, and that can be a bit frustrating, but hopefully this makes things very easy for our test takers. In terms of the scores, this is what your results will look like. You will typically receive your scores in 2 business days, as I've said before. The example on the right there shows what you will see. You'll see your 4 communicative skills listed: listening, reading, speaking and writing, and your score out of 90. We score on a scale of 10 to 90. What you see below the main scores are those scores we call enabling skills. And in that section, you have some scores for grammar, oral fluency, pronunciation, spelling, vocabulary, and written discourse. Now, those scores are not scores that you will be asked to provide by an institution or by a migration agency. But what they are useful for is you and your teachers or your accepting institution. It shows you where you might need to do some work, where you could perhaps spend some time doing some more preparation work or extra study. So in the example that you can see on the screen there, the written discourse score for this particular candidate is 11. Remember, the score is 10 to 90. So a teacher would advise a student with this score to perhaps focus a little bit on their written work and look at some preparation materials that really focused on that aspect of their English language ability so that they could increase that score a little bit. To confirm, once you've received those scores, you can assign those scores to your institution or your government agency direct from your Pearson account. You don't need to contact the test centre and you don't need to contact Pearson. You have access to all of what you need within your own account, and you can manage that the way you need to make sure that the right people get your results. In terms of PTE Academic, it is recognised around the world. As you can see very nicely in this particular slide, we have global recognition. So we have full recognition in Australia and New Zealand. 100% of universities and all visa categories accept PTE Academic. In Malaysia and Singapore and other countries around Southeast Asia, we have really strong recognition. The Malaysian Qualifications Agency accepts our test. We have numerous institutions in Singapore that accept our test. Around Europe, we have growing recognition across the whole continent. In Sweden, Finland and Ireland, we've got 100% of universities. 88% of universities in Norway. We have a growing number in Germany, which I know is an important destination for students in this particular market. And we are constantly growing those recognition numbers. So every month you'll see more and more universities added to that particular group. In the UK, we have recognition for all UK visas. And that's what this launch event is all about, to really highlight just what a great route this provides for people who want to go to the UK. We also have recognition by the Chevening Scholarship, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with. It's a great scholarship programme which has produced some fantastic leaders around the world, and we hope to see many more coming through that programme and using PTE Academic to get to their institution in the UK. 98% of universities in the UK recognise PTE Academic, so you can have full confidence when you take PTE Academic that it is the test that will allow you to follow your dreams and pathway into the UK. In Canada and the US, we have great recognition as well. 90% of universities in Canada accept the PTE Academic test. And in the USA, we've got over 1,000 institutions which recognise PTE Academic, including Harvard Business School and Yale. And of course, again, a scholarship programme which you're probably very familiar with, the Fulbright Scholarship. Okay, just to move to PTE Home, which is a 2 skills test that I mentioned a little bit earlier. PTE Home is a test that covers 3 different levels, A1, A2 and B1. And depending on what stage of your settlement process you're in, you will need to take one of those level tests. The test is approximately 30 minutes in total, so it's a much shorter test than PT Academic. There are approximately 30 questions in the test, and the test taker receives only a pass or fail result. So that's different again from PT Academic. It's less detailed in terms of what it provides you with on the score report. And just to give you an idea of what that score report looks like, as I mentioned, you get a pass or fail. The test results for this particular test, for PTE Home, are normally available within 5 days, as opposed to the 2 days for PT Academic. The report contains a CELT URN. That is a unique reference number that is needed for your visa application for settlement or family visas. Okay, so which PTE test do you need to take from our portfolio? Well, here is a graphic which hopefully makes it a little bit easier to understand exactly which type of test you need for which purpose. At the bottom there, you can see that for all settlement purposes, you would need to take a PTE Home test. Now, depending on which route, you would need to take the A1, the A2 or the B1 test. And I'll go through that route in a little bit more detail in a couple of slides. For study purposes, you need to take PT Academic. Now, whether you need to take PT Academic UKVI or PT Academic Standard is something that, again, I will go over in a moment, but you will need to take a PT Academic version for study. And for work, you have a mixture. Mainly it's PT Academic, either UKVI or Standard, but there are a couple of particular visas within the work category where you would need to take a PT Home visa. So that would be representative of an overseas business and a Tier 2 sports person visa. So for UK study, I mentioned that you'd need PT Academic or PT Academic UKVI. Now, there's a really straightforward pathway to understanding which is the right test to take for your purposes. So if you start at the top of this flowchart, will the student be taking a degree course or above? If the answer to that question is no, they will be going into a foundation level course, for example, then that student will need to take a PT Academic UKVI test. If the answer to that question is yes, then the next question you have to just ask yourself is the institution that the student is applying to a visa, does it have visa approval status? Again, is it a Tier 4 sponsor? Now, if it is a Tier 4 sponsor, then you simply need to take a standard PT Academic test. You can still take a PT Academic UKVI test if you wish, but you do not need to if the institution has visa approval status. If the institution does not have visa approval status, then you will need to take a PT Academic UKVI test. So that flowchart hopefully explains things quite clearly. And once again, just to reiterate, there is no difference between the two tests in terms of the content or the format. The difference is around the booking and what the Home Office, the UK Home Office, needs to have in terms of a unique reference number which is linked to your visa application. That is the only difference between the two tests. And this next slide, again, should hopefully make this really clear to you in terms of the two different tests. As you can see, PT Academic and PT Academic UKVI, either test can be used for Australian visas and migration, New Zealand visas and migration, university entry around the world, and scholarship programs. When it comes to UK visas, that's where you must take the PT Academic UKVI version. So that, if you just keep that in mind, the UKVI version will work wherever you need to take it. But if you don't need to take it for a UK visa purpose, then the standard PT Academic does work in that scenario. And in terms of PT Home, I mentioned that I would go over that process in a little bit more detail. So in this flow diagram, you can just get an idea of exactly what that process is if you were applying for a family or settlement visa. So when you apply for a visa, for example, for your spouse, within 6 months of arrival into the UK or about in advance of going to the UK, you would normally take that PTE Home A1 test. 2.5 years later, where you need to reapply and show progress in your English levels, that's where you would take the PTE Home A2 test. And then 2.5 years after that, when you would be applying for either indefinite leave to remain and then on to citizenship, that's where you take the PTE Home B1 test. So really, PTE Home provides you with a full solution for your settlement route, and you just need to select the right test at the right point in your journey. But what we can do at PTE is provide you with the whole process from beginning to end, which hopefully will make your journey much smoother. Okay, so I hope that outlines the 3 tests nicely for you and that it has answered all your questions. Please do, of course, get in touch with us at any point if you have any further questions or if anything isn't clear or you'd like more information about any of those 3 tests. So here is the quiz that we were talking about. So answer these 5 questions correctly and you might win some PTE prizes. Just submit all your answers in one response in the chat box. So question 1, what is the typical turnaround time to receive PT academic results? Question number 2. Up to how long before a test session can you book your PTE test? Question number 3. How do you send your results to an institution or government agency? Question number 4. How is the test scored? And finally, question number 5. What percentage of UK universities accept PT academic? Is it A, 67%, B, 98%, or C, 83%? I'm sure that you found all those answers quite easy and we look forward to selecting some winners. Thank you. I hope you found that presentation useful and it answered all your questions. If you do have more questions, if you'd like to know more information about anything that was covered in that presentation, then do please get in touch. We are here to help and answer all your questions. I also hope you enjoyed the quiz, and as I mentioned, we'll be selecting some winners after the session. So keep a lookout for any contact that our regional team might make. So we've talked a lot about the tests, and now I think it would be a great time to hear a little bit from test takers who've actually sat our test and can tell you about their experience. We've got 2 different test takers who've both taken the test in Sri Lanka in recent months, and they are going to talk to you about their experience of taking PTE academic.
Hello, my name is Sarshakshida Fernando. When I decided to study in Australia and to pursue my career in teaching, I had to select an English language competency test to meet my visa requirements. Among the different test options that were available, I opted to do Pearson test of English academic. This is after reviewing the comments and recommendations from past test takers, and as advised by my student visa consultant, I actually found the test to do was test taker friendly. I recommend PTE academic to future test takers. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Loshita Manoharan from Sri Lanka. I'm currently in Perth, Western Australia, studying for my bachelor's degree in electronics engineering. To fulfill my university and visa requirements, I did PTE academic. It is a test which is highly recognized for studies in Australia as well as for migration visas. When preparing for the test, you also get to do some practice tests from home and get your results within a matter of minutes. As PTE Academic is an on-demand test which can be booked online, I didn't have to wait too long. It is a fast, secure, fully online test. I recommend PTE Academic for those who are willing to pursue their studies abroad. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tharushi and Lushita, for telling us about your experience of taking PT Academic. Our next guest is our chief guest, and it is a real pleasure to introduce her. Please welcome Her Excellency Sarah Holton, the British High Commissioner to Sri Lanka and the Maldives.
Hello, I'm Sarah Holton, the British High Commissioner to Sri Lanka. I'm delighted to join you remotely today to send a message for the launch of Pearson's Test of English, UK Secured English Language Testing, which has received approval and recognition from UKVI. The global demand for English is growing ever more quickly, and the UK is supporting this training and testing need. English is the world's most widely spoken second language, and the UK has vast experience in teaching it. The quantity and variety of providers is unrivaled, from global giants to boutique language schools, and the quality of UK language training providers is robustly assured. Designing, developing and delivering assessment schemes is highly specialised work, and each year UK organisations and companies enable millions of candidates worldwide to demonstrate the English language proficiency they need for education and employment. There's no doubt about the role that the English language can play in creating jobs and economic opportunity, which is so important for stability and growth. A country's proficiency in English is directly related to the value of that country's exports per capita and also to the strength of its global connectedness. For businesses, a global workforce that communicates in English improves operational efficiency and client relations. For individuals, good spoken English helps provide access to higher education, opportunities, and opens doors to better paid employment. UK universities are currently recruiting students, and the UK government is working closely with universities to ensure flexibility for international students in the UK from autumn 2020, carefully considering visa regulations, learning models, and student safety. Admissions processes and modes of teaching might look slightly different this year, but students are encouraged to apply even if they think they might not be able to travel to the UK to meet usual timelines. And there's more good news. From summer 2021, international students will be able to benefit from 2 years of work experience in the UK upon graduation via the new graduate immigration route. Successful undergraduate and master's students will be able to stay and work or look for work in the UK for a period of up to 2 years, while PhD graduates will be able to remain in the UK for 3 years. I'm delighted that Sri Lankans have access to the Pearson Test of English Secure English Language Testing as an option to demonstrate their English language skills for British citizenship, settlement, or a visa for study or work. And I wish Pearson every success in delivering this testing in Sri Lanka. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for that message and for highlighting the opportunities that exist for people who do make their way to the UK as students or for employment. So that brings this session to an end. I will be handing over to my colleague Surya Babile in a moment to say the final thank yous and goodbyes. Surya is the Territory Manager for Sri Lanka and Maldives, and he will be thanking all of our speakers today. So from me and the Pearson team, I'd just like to thank you for attending. I hope that you have found it interesting and useful, and we look forward to working with you more closely and using PT Academic to help you achieve your dreams. I'll hand over to Surya now. Thank you. Goodbye.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As we have concluded the official launch of PTE Academic Home and UKVI tests in Sri Lanka, I would like to propose the following vote of thanks. On behalf of the PTE Academic team, I thank the High Commissioner for UK in Sri Lanka, Her Excellency Sarah Halton, for gracing the launch of PTE Home and UKVI. A special note of appreciation to Joe Lamb, Managing Director South Asia, Freya Thomas, Senior Vice President English Assessment, and Pramila Paulraj, Director Business Development, for their presence. Let me also thank Mona Mirza, Head of Market Development, for making the presentation and the support extended. We also recognize the support and thank all of you who attended today's virtual launch event. Those who have responded to the quiz, please check the Pearson EdXL Facebook page to claim your prizes. PTE Academic Home and UKVI tests can now be booked in Sri Lanka through the PTE website. If teachers, study abroad and university consultants, parents or students would like to get more information, you could also contact us via our Facebook page or our office. Thank you.